Next up, we have the pleasure of hearing once again Mr. Alex Boldin. He's been coming here for a while. His chops have just been getting better and better every time I see him. He and I live very close together, so on the odd occasion, I get to catch him at a show, or we cross paths at an event, or maybe he comes to one of my events, and it's just so cool to be able to share this with someone from Mein Umgebung. A big round of applause for Alex Boldin.
Yeah.
All right, so I think I have to add on to what Petteri said. He was telling about going on stage and asking why. Why am I doing this? Why did I decide? And now I ask myself, what the fuck am I doing here? Like, in between two of my greatest heroes and inspirations, we have Thomas, we have Don in the room, and it's like, wow, all right, this is it. Do you get a signal?
Just give me 1 second, we're good.
We are good. So this first song is a special song for me. It's I wrote it for a companion, for the companion in my life that is there from day one until the last day, and that is music. And so I thought, what better idea than writing a song for music? This is the one. I hope you like it. here, and it's called Fingerstyle Blues. 1, 2, 3. Okay, it's time to throw holy ribbons at me. Idea. So normally the most that I get is like on beat and off beat, things like that, but you are something different. But what did I expect? So this next song is for you. For all of you, it was the song that I wrote after I came here for the first time. I still remember. I was here and afterwards I was teaching young kids in Hamburg how to do this crazy stuff we do. And I was so inspired, and I still had this week in my head with all the new inspirations and everything, and I had to write a song about it, about this place, about you guys, and this is what came out. It's called Up in the Hills. This is where we are.
Oh yeah.
You can tell.
I get it. I get it.
we have the time, I would have one more song on another instrument.
Yeah.
Is it okay?
Yeah.
All right. So I recently got into playing nylon strings, and it's a different thing. If you know Sönke, you can tell. It's a different thing. But it's also, again, really inspiring to pick up another instrument, finding new sounds, new vibes. And maybe this song is also a great warm-up for the water song later. Because this one is called On Open Sea, auf offener See. So it's a German title. And it's about this feeling that you get when you look out on the waves and you see the light. Maybe it's like that in your studio, I guess. I'm a bit jealous. And yeah, it's a song to let your mind wander. Is that it? Yeah, that's a delay. Hello? Yeah, we're on. So thank you for having me. It's a great, great honor to be on this teacher's concert. I still don't know what I do here, so thanks for having me. Here we go.
question that was right next to me. Is like, it seems like everything you do has got a groove in it. You know, how do you do that? It's so cool.
Yeah, he's Mr. Groove for some. Yeah, I would say so.
I like that. Seems like John Gomm's kind of that way too. Huh?
He is. I mean, also Thomas in his way.
No, completely. Yeah. Yeah.
But he's just going to another level, you know? I feel like he has those really odd rhythms and beats. Alright, so let's see if it's too hot or not, but I feel
So I kind of
it's a bad hair day.
I appreciate that you said, you know, let's interview as well, because I kind of want to get to know you and have my audience get to know you.
Sure.
So, first of all, tell me where you're from.
So I'm from Germany, a city called Erlangen, which is close to Nuremberg, the Franconian area, if you're familiar with that. And pretty much born and raised there, yeah.
And when did you first become interested in playing guitar?
I was quite late to the party, so I was like 15, 16 when I picked up like an old guitar of my grandma actually. And then I went straight into electric guitar, so I wanted to play Metallica and those kind of things. And I discovered the acoustic guitar when I was around 20, early 20s. So quite late to the party.
And what inspiration did you have for picking up the acoustic guitar?
Well, I think my first point of contacts were Andy McKee and Tommy, with like many of us, I think, had those encounters. And then songwriting-wise and composing-wise, I found Callum Graham's music and Manelli Jamal, Antoine Dufour, and I found like there is something that is calling me in their style.
It's funny that you mention Andy, because Andy's came from a similar background where he was really into metal,
Yeah.
and then discovered Michael Hedges, and things changed for him, and he took a new direction. Just because, as you know, my YouTube channel is very oriented around Michael Hedges, I'm curious if you could tell me about the first time you heard Michael.
Well, so I heard it secondhand, I would say. So I heard about Michael Hedges and his music through Andy, who's also like sometimes playing some of his tunes, and then also I think Callum did a video or some posts about his studio that he built himself, and then there was Michael Hedges music running all the time. So I got introduced secondhand, and then well, I also went deep into it, and just it was mesmerizing.
Yeah. My friend Jake White is writing a book. Did I tell you this story about Jake in Michael's studio?
I don't think so.
Yeah, Jake is writing this biography, and it's going to be absolutely fabulous. We've been privileged to read it as it's written. And Misha has, and Michael's former wife Mindy have really opened up their Hedges world to him, including the studio in Mendocino. And Jake was there going through Michael's journal, and there was Barbara, who'd been in the accident but was okay, and Misha said, well, go ahead and pick her up. So Jake picks her up and realizes quickly that even though she's slightly out of tune, she was in the tuning for Arrowhead, and he knows how to play Arrowhead, so he tweaked the tuning a little bit and started playing it, and it was very emotional for Misha and Mindy. Yeah. I've been privileged to get to know Callum quite well. He's a great guy to be inspired by. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we had that conversation this morning at the breakfast, and that I was wondering, it's a question that's still in my head, if the kind of people, because Andy, he's super humble, he's super kind, Callum is a nice guy, basically all of them that I know in person. So I was wondering if this style of music is attracting some kind of nice people, or if the nice people are attracted to that music,
it could
you know?
be that this kind of music just makes them so lonely. Just kidding, guys.
Well,
okay.
no friends at all?
No, just because it's so niche and it's so hard, and you have to work really hard to make a living from this stuff.
Yeah.
And you have to really have the chutzpah to put yourself out there and commit to it. And if you don't, it's hard. So.
Well, I agree. You need to put a lot of time into it.
I'm really, we're very happy to support the community. And so my question to Don Ross this morning was, how do you get fingerstylists who are stubborn about their ability to sing? How do you tell them, well, of course you can sing? And did I ask you, do you sing?
Well, I do. I do it occasionally. I do also do it live to try out things, but I'm not not yet super happy or confident about it. So it's like I'm kind of happy with my guitar playing, but the singing still needs something. But I'm not strictly like I don't sing. I don't open my mouth on stage, And then the other thing is I'm really into writing lyrics. So I think I have some quite nice or good lines written down, and I need to get to vocalize them and to actually sing them. So work in progress, I would say.
So those guitars that you mentioned were like early inspiration for your work.
Yeah.
Including Thomas, of course, because how many times we're here, how do you pronounce the name of the town we're in?
Turacher Höhe. This R is hard to pronounce. Turacher Höhe.
In Austria at Thomas Leeb's Bootcamp. And how many times have you been here?
So this must be my 4th time, I think, yeah.
And so it occurs to me that every once in a while, Thomas picks from his crop of students the ones that he thinks are really advanced enough to be able to help other students. And if I'm not mistaken, this year he's asked you to teach.
Yeah, right. So I had the honor.
As well.
So I had the honor of teaching for a day. And I mean, this happens here all the time. We are exchanging ideas and you see a trick from someone else and it's like giving and taking, exchanging ideas.
Yeah.
But he asked me if I could do a day and talk about a little bit the stuff that I do and maybe give an inspiration to people to try it out.
All the years that you've been here, has it always been such a warm and supportive environment as I'm finding this week?
Yeah, I would say so. I think that's a great effort of Thomas. So he created something really special here that it's the environment and it's the people. And it's just if new people come in, they instantly adapt to it, and they become part of the family. And I have seen people who come here who are not even that much into the lessons. They are more about spending time together here. So,
That's me. Yeah, that's us.
Yeah, well, welcome.
Yeah, thank you. It's been just an amazing week of talent. I couldn't imagine the wealth of talent amongst all these really generous people. Young people, older people, not so many older people, but there's some of us, and just a lot of great talent. And we loved what you were playing last night, and maybe we could start by having you play something that you want to play now.
Yeah, sure.
Everybody, as you know, my channel's got a lot of people interested in fingerstyle, so.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play something that I haven't played yesterday, which makes sense, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's one of the faster tunes. So I would say my music is not that much on the high percussive and fast level, but this tune kinda is, because it's the opener for my album. It's called Rising Tide, the song. And it's a bit, like stormy and energized, I would say, before getting into more relaxed tunes later.
Do you have more than one album?
I have one full album that's called Time Out, and then the first thing I did was like a little EP called Conversation that I recorded myself, and I did my first steps. But I still like it. So far it's two CDs. All right, let's do this.
Nice. That's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah. So are you
All right.
are you gigging? Do you have a daytime job? You know, what's the deal with that?
Yeah, so at the moment I still have my daytime job. I studied engineering and energy engineering actually, but I ended up in the transportation train industry as a system engineer. But now I reduced that to part-time and I'll try to keep it like that permanently, like for now, to make more space for music. But I'm quite ambitious about the music thing, you know, so spending more time with the guitar, whether it's teaching, gigging, doing stuff in the studio, composing, everything related to music, I would say, it's the passion. The other thing is a job. And I'm gigging quite a lot, yeah. So it's not only, let's say, acoustic fingerstyle gigs, because there are not so many opportunities. But it's also weddings or private events, and sometimes here and there like a background guitar gig, which is fine for me because it's like a public practice basically, you know. You can try out some stuff and people didn't pay for it. It's not a real concert thing, but those are, I mean, the nicest concerts. It's like people sitting down, listening, being on your fingers, and like the crowd yesterday, the audience was amazing, as good as it could get.
Focused.
Yes.
Yeah, bars are, at breakfast we were talking about how difficult it can be to play in a bar when you're just doing fingerstyle.
Yeah.
And I was mentioning that, you know, Hedges would grab people with Cinnamon Girl before he would get them with Ragamuffin. So, yeah. I don't know if you know, but I spent the last 20 years shooting 500 weddings. So it's a good venue for making some money with stuff like this.
Yeah, it is, and people actually appreciate it. So even if they are not like clapping after each song, or even if you don't feel it in the moment, I realized like you take a break and people come and say like it's so nice and it sets the scene. So I see it, you know, in that case it's a job.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying that now.
Yeah, that's great. So play another tune.
I will. That's definitely a more relaxed one. It's called At Ease, and I was trying to capture that feeling of everything being just fine at the moment. That's how the title came, and I wrote it when I was living in Bangkok for my job. I was in Thailand for almost a year, and I was sitting on like a rooftop terrace, looking down from there on this busy town, you know, cars and traffic everywhere and something. And it was so far, I could see it, but it was so far away. I was so detached from that. And I was just, sitting at the pool and, you know, enjoying the warmth of Thailand. And that's what came out, this next tune.
Do you work from home mostly?
Nowadays, yeah. So I'm partly in the office, partly from home, and luckily if I have a gig somewhere else, I can also work the next day from there.
Yeah, that's great.
So it's a privilege.
Have you played in the States yet?
Not officially, but I did a gig there it was near Indianapolis, because my mom used to study in the US, in Jacksonville, Alabama. So we've been over there a few times, but I don't have the official permit and license, you know. But I was playing in a bar, a few tunes.
Oh, cool.
Okay, so here is At Ease.
That's really pretty.
Thank
I
you.
like that.
Thank you.
Yeah. That, you know, I feel a little bit of Thomas in there with the, you know, the wrist on the guitar, and I can certainly see the influence of Thomas with the scratch.
On the guitar, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's something he started. I don't know. I always try to check for myself if I did something too close related to anything that I love listening.
That was
So
completely unique.
thank you. Well,
Yeah.
I'm glad. Well, I think harmony-wise, it's all like diatonic. You know, it's nothing super fancy in the tune, but I think the way the rhythm blends in this one is quite nice. It does like the strumming and then the pattern for this. I don't even know if I can do it slowly, but it's. So this one bass is like, it's not on the one, it's like, it's before. And then there is one thing to mention maybe about, I teach this also,
Yeah.
a lot of groove comes from my left hand. So you know, those hammer-ons and ghost notes,
Sure.
or the bass notes, and they add up, they are part of this.
Yeah.
And they're quite important.
I get a lot of questions after people listen to tunes on the channel, and they'll say, "What's the tuning on this particular tune?"
So it's the open C tuning, so C G C G C, and in this case it's E on the top string. If you go to E flat, then it's minor. This way it's major.
Okay.
And so it's a pretty easy, it's an approachable tuning because you can do a lot of power chord things or bar with one finger.
Nice.
And one of my favorite chords are like those distance, like 9th and 10th chords. So it's
I
called.
make it so hard on myself with standard tuning. It's like I really need to be doing this stuff. You bar and you get a great chord, you know. And I've been playing like Dylan for so long.
Well, I don't know if you got a copy of the sheets
I
from
did.
there is one page, one of my pages in the end of the book that has a page with an overview for alternate tunings.
Yeah.
And some of them are really close to standard. So I call it like the first step into that world. So you might have.
Is that one
Have a
of the
look at
things that Thomas mentioned that you were going to be teaching at the? Yeah.
So I was talking
Yeah.
about that in the
Yeah.
classes.
Does the person who made this guitar know that you put a scratch thing on the front?
Yeah, they made it. They gave it with the guitar basically.
Oh,
so
really?
they it's not perfectly fit, but it fits quite well. And they had this piece of wood, and they
Yeah.
gave it to me.
You know how Thomas got his first piece, right?
Actually, no.
At a sushi bar, and the owner of the place, he had this nice, I don't know, sandalwood or exactly what it was, but they gave him the plate, and he used that.
That's cool.
Yeah, and the first tune, remind the name again,
The first one was called Rising Tide.
and the tuning for that.
That was the CG tuning as well, but then in E flat.
Okay.
So I go in a life situation. I have like this, the sun is shining thing,
Yeah.
and then going, making it dark,
Starting to rain.
and then back to sunny.
Yeah.
So those two tunings are quite closely related.
Nice. And Alex, pronounce your last name so I don't mess it up.
So it's Alex Boldin.
Yeah.
Boldin,
easy.
Boldin,
Can't get it wrong.
Yeah, I guess so.
Alright.
Maybe for an English tongue it's even easier than some Germans. They don't know where to put the emphasis.
Yeah, I'm very excited that we got over here in Salzburg, and I checked into the hotel and they said, "Oh, Mr. Lutke," you know, it's a German name, and so it was pronounced as it was originally created, and yet it's been changed in America to Randy Luigi,
Luigi.
which is just kind of not as pretty as Lutke.
Lutke, yeah.
Yeah.
Lutke sounds German.
Yeah. You want to do another tune?
Because I'm just in that tuning, and I just came up with something to mention. It's a good tuning to start arranging songs.
Yeah.
Because it's not standard tuning. Your normal chord shapes don't work. but you have quite a good orientation of that's a C chord, then I have my G chord and F chord and so on, and the open strings are in tune. Tuning I used for arranging something you might be familiar with, so maybe I'll just play a bit of that for as a last tune.
Okay, just in case I don't recognize it, you can tell me after.
Well, let's see if
We'll keep everyone guessing.
Yes, exactly. Let's see.
All right. I can't imagine that there's anyone in the world that doesn't know what tune that is. That was super beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. How nice. Yeah. So play something else. You got another original or something from the album?
Yeah, let me think. Like without a lot of tuning changes. Well, maybe a bit because it just fits.
Fine.
It just fits what we are doing here. So
You have a class at 2 o'clock?
I might. I think so, but
Yeah. I mean, we have another 10 or 15 minutes.
Oh, that's good.
I think I'm going to go shoot at 2 o'clock, so yeah.
yeah, cool. So let's do another one that fits the scene.
And what tuning is this going to be in?
So this is drop D. So we are close to standard world now.
Okay, and so tell me each note with
So
each string.
it's D-A-D, G-B-E. So it's basically standard tuning with a second D on the low E string.
Okay.
So you have this octave here,
Yeah.
and all the rest is standard. So all your chords work.
Yeah. That tune that Hedges helped me with the last time he visited me, Don't Let It Bring You Down, was both these tuned down to D.
Yeah, that's also then you are almost at dat-gat. Dat-gat
I
is
see.
like it's close to dat-gat.
I see.
No worries.
I see. Luca, hello.
Hello.
Hola.
Are you taking videos?
I am. Yeah.
How was the walk?
Nice. We do the young freestyle.
Oh, nice. You went?
Yeah. I'm just go to the bathroom and then take my guitar for the Doros lesson.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm leaving you working.
Well, they were going too.
Yeah, so basically this is what is in the script, is like going from standard to to drop D, because you still are familiar with your chords, but you have this rich bass note. And then the next step is to tune the B string up to C. So in that case, we still have our power chord on the low strings, but above you have now G, C, and E. So it's a C major chord. And with that in mind, you can play any kind of like A minor or C major songs pretty well in that tuning. So like just for a short demonstration I started with Watchtower in that.
So cool.
Right?
Thank you for that. Yeah.
Well, you're welcome. You just need two shapes. You just need your minor shape and your major shape. And you can move that around through the...
Nice.
Yeah, and so on.
Luca, is he up in Canada or is he in the main room?
I think in Canada.
I think Canada, where I was before, I think.
That's where Don Ross is going to be?
I think I will be there as well. Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So try it out. It's not, it's not far away from standard. That's my message.
Yeah, I love that.
All right. So let's get to the last song. It's called Conversation. And it's the title track of my first EP, and the idea for the title was playing a concert, or what we are doing right here, right now. It's never just one direction, It's not just a guitarist being on stage and playing for people. It's also the people giving something back, a smile, a lovely face, a nice question. So it's this exchange of energy in a way, and ironically, I play instrumental music most of the time, but there is a conversation happening in that, and it's my language. So I'm gonna play that tune, Conversation, for you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. conversation.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're also, we were talking about Don Ross being groove oriented with the tunes he writes. You're very groove oriented as well.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That rocked.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Really wonderful. Thanks so much.
Was a pleasure.
I'll see you at the next workshop.
Yes, see you.
All right.